Hi, it's Mary. Welcome back to the Paper Turtle. The last video, which was the Craft Along After haul number 50, I believe. I think it was. You saw me make this cover, for a Denim and Lace journal that I'm doing for a swap. That swap can be found in the JJJ, which stands for Junk Journal Junkies, chat group. That's JJJ chat, Facebook group, if you're interested. By the time this video gets up, I don't know, maybe the event might be over. I'm not sure, but hopefully I'll get it up before the event is over in case you want to join it. But even if you don't, this is my cover that I'm working on. And this has been a comedy of errors, let me tell you. This has not been an easy journal, and I'm still undecided if I'm going to actually do the swap. It all depends on how this thing comes out in total. But in the last video, you saw me make the cover, right? So after that, I started to put my signatures together, and I thought, you know what, let me check and see how many pages I'm supposed to have in this journal, because there's requirements for the whole journal, right? So I looked. Oh boy. I'm supposed to have 2 signatures in it. Well, you can't put, or I can't, I don't know how to put 2 signatures in just a folded journal cover, because all you have is the fold, right? 1 signature, that's all you can fit in there. So I had to redo the journal cover. So I thought, okay, not a big deal. I cut it in half. I made a spine out of strips of the leftover file folder that I had used, and made a spine. Okay, working out fairly good so far. But because my front and back covers were already covered, I wasn't sure how I was going to secure the spine. But instead of doing it on the outside, I secured it on the inside using some bookbinding tape that I had. Wasn't quite wide enough. So I did half and half, and it ended up working out okay. Everything ended up working out okay, but there were some stumbling blocks along the way. And I'll tell you more about the stumbling blocks, I think, as I'm crafting. That'll give me something to talk about while I'm crafting. So what I ended up with, I have this journal with this, it's about 1 inch. Yeah, it's a 1 inch spine. 2 signatures I've sewn in. Yes, I've already done it because I got started on this. I was having so many issues that I did not turn the camera on. Okay. I ended up having, at first here, I'm going to have to tell you what happened. At first I tried to glue this fabric on, and it didn't stick. It didn't stay good at all. So I thought, oh gosh, I'm going to have to sew this. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to, because see how close this pocket is to the edge here? I was like, this is like way too close to the edge, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my sewing machine under there. This is going to have to be really narrow because I don't have much room here. I was like, this isn't going to work. But it worked. I ended up sewing this on here and along here. And I think it came out actually pretty good. I actually like it. Today, I'm going to decorate this cover a little bit more and hopefully get to the inside. I did sew my signatures in because, like I said, I was just working. I was kind of on a roll. I just kept going. And so I finished that part of it. You'll see them as we go along through the journal. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to decorate this cover. and I have some ideas. But one of the things that I didn't really care about looking at the cover is I don't like the corners. I don't mind the edges because I want this fraying. I want it to look like they're, you know, cut off jeans. So I don't mind the fraying. But the corners to me just seem plain. So I thought, okay, I don't want to put metal corners on, although it would go with the button that's on here. I just thought they'd be too heavy and too, you know, this is kind of thin. So I didn't want to put the metal corners on. So I thought, okay, I'll put some, I have fabric corners. But then I came up with an idea. I decided to make my own corners. I know, a little bit scary for me to take on a new thing on a journal that I'm already having issues with. But I did it. And I've got one more to do that I'm going to show you how I did it. And this is what they end up looking like. And they're going to just fit right on the corners like that. So I thought that that was super cute. Right? Do you like it? I'm going to show you how I made these. I took this one tiny little, like it's about 2 inches, strip of this eyelet material, and I just stitch it together. Now what happened was, it didn't happen, it's nothing that happened, but how I came to this, I have this thing of pieces of lace. This is from cleaning out, organizing my laces and trims, and I ended up with pieces that were too small to roll up and store away. So I put them all in here. And these are the things I've got here in my room by my side. This is my go-to first if I need lace or trim. If what I want isn't in here, then I'll go to the other stuff that I have organized and put away until this is whittled down or used up or whatever. So I'm sitting here and I see this thing sitting beside me, and I think, okay, what can I use out of there? So I came up with this piece of eyelet material. And what I'm doing, I'm taking this piece of eyelet, and I hope that you're going to be able to see this. I get, you know how I get with my camera being out of frame, and I'm trying. I just took this. I'm not good at tutorials, so I'm going to really try to explain this to you. It's so simple. You've probably already done it. It's probably not very innovative because you've done this before. I just fold down the 2 ends like this to form this little corner pocket type thingy like that. But this needs to be stitched, and I don't think I can do that on my sewing machine without stitching the two together. So I'm hand stitching it. It only takes a couple of stitches to get this together. They're going to be glued onto the page, so I think that that'll help keep it all together. But I'm very uncoordinated, and my fingers are like, I don't know, super fat or something. So I was afraid I was going to sew this two together. So the first time that I did it, I put a button. You can experiment and see what's going to work best for you. I just slid a button right in there like that, just as a spacer. I'm not sewing the button in there. It's not going to stay there, but just as a spacer so that I wouldn't sew the top and the bottom together. But that just kept slipping around and didn't really, it helped me the first time I did it, but the second time it just wasn't working. So then I thought, well, I'll just stick a piece of paper up in there. And that helps a little bit more, but you still have to hold it all together. So I'm going to do a couple of stitches, and then I should be able to take the paper out and do it. I found thread that is the same color as my material I'm using here, so that it doesn't show, which is a really good thing for me because my Hand sewing is not pretty. It is not pretty. There's no way I would be able to make, like, you know, a whole quilt or anything. See, now I'm so uncoordinated. My needle just came unthreaded, which means I have to grab my glasses. I have to grab my needle threader. This type of thing has been happening through this entire journal. I just can't seem to get this thing done without all these goofs. Now, when I was working on the cover, I thought, you know, it would be good to turn the camera on, because then they can see how I work around these little goofs and mistakes. But then I thought, no, I'm going to be able to work through it better if I don't have the camera on, which I did. I was more relaxed about it, I think. So one of the little goofs was when I sewed the, I'm sorry, I'm trying to concentrate. When I sewed this on here, I needed to change the thread in my sewing machine because I had dark thread in there. Well, that's not a problem. I know, you know, I know how to do it. I know how to loop it all through. I don't have to look it up or anything. Why is my needles keep coming on thread? Because my thread's not long enough. I use one piece of thread for all of these, and what I'm using now is just left over. Probably should have put another longer piece of thread on there. So anyway, I had to rethread my sewing machine with some light thread. So I had this white thread over there, and I'm trying to thread the needle, and I could not get that stinking thread through the needle. It just couldn't do it. It would not go through that needle. I had my glasses on, I had the light on, everything. Finally, I came to the conclusion that the thread was too thick for the needle. Now, I should have come to that conclusion earlier because I did that once before. Now, what I need to do is take that thread out of there, out of that area, and not use it. So I switched my thread to something thinner, and ta-da! I was able to thread my needle and change the bobbin out and do everything without any further incidences. It's crazy. It's crazy, the little things that that turn a simple thing into a chore, you know, and it shouldn't. Okay, so I don't know if you could see what I was doing or not, but I sewed this little part right here so that we have a corner. Now, they're not perfect, and I think if you were to do this with something that doesn't have this band on it, it might be a little bit easier. I could have taken that off, and then it would have made it thinner and easier to sew and probably lay a little flatter on the book and all of that, but I didn't. But you can, or you can use something like a flatter trim, and again, you just fold down. This one's not cut, but you would fold down your two sides. This might not be the best example. Probably better to use fabric than a lace like this, because this is what you'll end up with, which is very pretty, and if you can pull that off, great. But there's not much substance there to sew. So I don't know. It's just an idea, a way to make some corners and make the corners of your books look a little prettier. They're not super utilitarian, but they'll work. So now the trick is to put them on the corners, and I want to decide which ones are going to look the best on my front. Trying to see which ones are like similar in size and shape, and because they're not perfectly symmetrical. So there's that one and there's that one. They look pretty good. Insides aren't quite as pretty. See, this one's a little bit, you can't see. I have one that's a little bit bigger than the other one. So let me see if I can get them to be about the same size. Yeah, that might work. Now they're not gorgeous. They're not perfect, but hey, nothing is. So what I think I'll do is put a little bit of glue right here. Another one of my little snafus the other day when I was working on this, I tried to find this glue. It wasn't where I keep it. I was like, where is my glue? Looked all over. I looked on the floor. I looked everywhere. I could not find this glue. I was like, well, my husband must have borrowed it. So I'll just kind of make do until he returns it. Well, in a little while, I saw my husband. And I asked him, did you borrow my glue? And he said, no. I'm like, what the heck is my glue? I looked everywhere. And then that night, I'm laying in bed. You know how you just come up with something in your head? Sometimes I come up with journal ideas. So I'm laying in bed, and all of a sudden I'm like, I bet it fell in the trash. I wanted to get up and go look, but hubby was sleeping, and I didn't want to wake him up. He'd think something was wrong. And so I'm like, okay, I have to remember in the morning to go see if my glue is in the trash. And sure enough, my glue was in the trash. It had fallen, gotten knocked down, and landed in the trash can. So I'm glad that I thought about it and checked it. Right. I hope this is going to work. I don't know. I've never done this before with these fabric corners like this. Let me know. Have you done this? And is there like a better way to do it? Because I don't know. I'm just like winging it. So I'm going to try to get the glue up underneath here. This, it seems like either the denim on the cover or this paper does not want to take glue well. I'm having a hard time with like everything that I'm trying to adhere to this. Oh, I hope that's not going to look bad. I think when the glue dries, you won't see it. Oh, see, this is why I'm very not sure if this journal's going to make it to the swap. What are we doing here? I want to do the swap, but I don't know. This is not, it's just not working out real well. So when I went into my room to find, here's a story too. Went into when I say my room, my other room. I've turned the spare bedroom into a storage room. Not completely. There's still a bed in there, and the kids' toys are still in there, so it's still usable as a spare room, but I have a lot of stuff stored in there. All my books are in there. Not all of them, but my cut-apart books are in there, and my laces, trims, ribbons, and fabric they're all in there. So I went into there to find a piece of fabric to go on the spine. And my thought process was to put a strip of fabric and then wrap some lace around the fabric. So what do you think? I like how it looks. I just hope the glue is going to dry so that you can't really see it. I don't know. We'll see. So I go in there and I'm standing there. Now, I've been in the middle of this project to organize my laces and trims. I think I've told you that several times. And everything, all of my laces and trims were all over the bed. Spread out, some sorted, some not sorted. It was a mess. So I'm standing there feeling totally overwhelmed, thinking, oh my God, I have to find something in this mess. And I looked, and one thing jumped out at me. And that was the fabric I ended up using. But what it is, I'll show you. 1 second. That's so cute. What it is on the edge here, my spine, is this. Is this. A piece of ruffled fabric. The color is what caught my eye. And I saw it and I said, oh, I can use that. I'm going to use that. So I took it and I took out the stitching along the ruffling part to straighten it out. This is what it looks like straightened out, right? So I had this piece and I'm thinking, boy, I really need to iron that. If I iron that out, it'll straighten it out. It'll look really nice. For Christmas, I received 2 of those little craft irons. I thought they were going to be bigger, but I had them on my wish list for Amazon, and I had shared my wish list with my daughter-in-law and my mother. Well, they didn't confer with each other, and they both bought me one, which was fine. My daughter-in-law offered to take it back, but I said, no, it's okay. I'll keep it because, you know, I didn't really know the quality of those things. What might break down right away and I'll need another one. So I said, no, it's okay. I'll keep it. I'll keep both of them. So I went to get one of those irons to iron this little piece of fabric. And you know what? I could not find those irons. I don't know how long I spent searching my room trying to figure out where the heck I put those irons. 2 of them. 2 of them. I'm assuming they're together somewhere. My room, the one half of my room that I redid, is very organized to me. I know where everything is. I have a system. I know where I would have put them. So I looked where I thought I would have put them. They're not there. So I started looking everywhere. I mean, I looked on every shelf, in every nook and cranny, everywhere that I could think in even places where I'm sure I would not have put them. There's only so many places. I only have so much space in this room. I could not find those irons. I told hubby, I said, I lost something. I finally, for the first time, actually lost and cannot find something in my room. So I still haven't found them. I have no idea where they are. They're just small. They're those little tiny small irons, like about this big. So I imagine that they got thrown away. Like, you know, with the Christmas stuff, with the being, you know, when we have Christmas here, it's, it gets real hectic sometimes, and the kids and wrapping paper, and, you know, and then we tend to just take a garbage bag and walk around and pick up the paper and throw it away. And you know, it's busy and hectic. But one of them I received on Christmas Eve, at my mother's house, not even here. The other one I received here on Christmas Day. For both of them to be missing tells me that I put them both somewhere together. Because otherwise, if they had gotten like thrown away and jumbled up with the Christmas stuff, only one of them would have. The one that I got here on Christmas Day. The other one, when I got home from Christmas Eve, all of the things that I had received Christmas Eve were set aside. So they weren't even like in the mix of the Christmas Day stuff. So that tells me this detective work to find my stinking irons tells me they're together somewhere. I can't find them. I'm so upset about it because I can't even imagine where I put them. I don't know. I don't know. Have you done that? Have you completely, totally lost something? Now, sometimes I'll say, oh, where did I put such and such? And I can find it eventually. Because when I start thinking about it, I remember where I put it and stuff. So, I've never totally, completely, 100% lost anything in my room. Until now. So, the fabric, it didn't get ironed. Yes, I have a big iron, but it's in the other room, and I have to pull it out, and I get out a towel, lay it down on it, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing all of that work for ironing one piece of fabric. So it did not get ironed, but when I glued it on here, it straightened it out, and then when I sewed it on, it secured it on there. So it worked out just fine without the iron, but I still don't know where those irons are. All right, so what do you think? What do you think? I think I like it. I kind of like them. All right, so the next thing, you know what? I didn't check my watch. I don't know how much time is going by, so I hope I'm not going to be too... I hope it's not going to be too much time. So the next thing that I want to do, I'm going to put some trim on the inside here so that it is sticking out of the front like this. I want that lace sticking out there. It just adds a little bit of lace to the cover, and I don't like the edge of the paper here. I don't know. I don't know why. I think some of the stuff that I've chosen for this just doesn't seem to be working out for whatever reason. I don't know why. So I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to make it look better. Now you're probably watching this and saying, Mary, you're being really picky. It looks fine. I know it looks okay, but again, this this is for a swap, and it's going to someone else, and I really want it to look nice, because I don't know, it's my handiwork, you know, and I don't want someone to feel like they participated in a swap and got a piece of junk or something. It's not going to be a piece of junk. I'm putting an awful lot of work and time into it. It's just, I really want it to look nice, you know. Now, I don't know how this is going to look with the corner and then the trim on top of it. We'll see how it all looks once it's all dry and I trim the edges off and everything. I don't know. I want to get a piece of, oh gosh, why isn't it right here? It should be right here. That's close enough. I want a piece of wax paper. I think this is like that baking paper. I don't know. I just want it on here so that the glue doesn't stick while I do this side. Scissors. So let me think what else happened while I was putting this thing together. Oh, it just seems like it's been one thing after another that I can't seem to get this to work the way that I wanted it to. But like I said, it seems to be falling into line and coming together. Maybe. I hope. I hope you're crafting along and doing something and not sitting there just bored. Sometimes when I get working on something and I'm concentrating on it, I don't talk. And I apologize for that. But I am concentrating. All right, well, let's hope that dries nicely and sticks. I'm not sure if I care for this part here where the corner and the trim come together. I might have to come up with something else to put there just to make it look a little cleaner there. These ends are gonna get cut off. Oh, I'm all full of glue. All right, so that is, how can I do this? There. So that's the corners and the inside trim. The next thing that I want to do is on this front, I wanted to put, I had some things picked out here. I wanted to put a flower, and I wanted to put this label. And then I thought that the label needed some lace under it. I don't think that's the lace I want, though. But I have, where did I see another piece of something here? Was it in here? No. Oh, what about this? Will this work? It's kind of pretty. The problem is this is white, but I don't mind mixing the white and the cream. No, that's too narrow. Let me see what else I've got here. This. I don't know if this would work. I think I already laid this on here and I didn't care for it. Excuse me, I keep burping my breakfast or something. I know, sorry. That was kind of gross. That's not bad. right there. It's a little narrower than what I envisioned. I have this, but I don't think I like that. No, that's too much cotton and cotton. I do have wider trim in my stash, but I don't want to go in there and dig through it and try to find it all at the moment. I'm trying to find something that I have in this box right here. This box. I don't even really know what all's in here. A lot of gathered stuff, because that's what I have pieces of. Which I don't mind the gathered stuff. Sometimes when you use it, it'll straighten itself out, you know. And then other times you have to take those threads out, which can be a little bit time consuming, but it's not a major deal. Why am I not seeing anything in here that's going to work? Why does it work that way all the time? I have this great big huge thing of lace and nothing's going to work. Seriously, Mary? Alright. I'm going to go with... Why isn't that pretty? That's so pretty. I want to use that somewhere. Alright. Mary, you got to just move with it. Pick one. Pick one and do it. I think I'm going to go with this one. All right, here we go. More glue. I think that's too far. Where'd my label go? There it is. Probably too much glue. Now, one thing that I do also need to do on the cover of this is I need to fix the studs and stuff that are up here. I just noticed this one here is missing from the other side. So I think I've got something that looks similar to this, hopefully. And then these are missing a couple of these little white ones, and I know I have those. And then here, I think those are actually missing. So I have to kind of fix that a little bit. But that's not a big deal. I can do that easily. All right. What do you think? Tell me honestly. Is this like worthy of a swap? Oh, I was going to put this on here too. This goes up here. Because you know, and I ask myself, okay, if I got this in a swap, would I be happy with it? And I think that I would, but how objective am I being? You know what I mean? It's hard to judge my own stuff. Come on, stick down there. So you're supposed to actually post in the event group your progress on your journal, but I haven't decided yet if I'm actually going to do it. So I haven't posted anything yet. Come on. Stay down. What are you doing here? Little flower? Well, that's just not even. I have super fabric glue. If I can, I don't know if I can get it to come out of the tube. It's probably all glued shut. This stuff works really well, but it is toxic. It has like acetone or something in it. It smells so bad. But the last time I tried to use it, I don't think I could get anything to come out of it. Oh, there's some. Okay. It's like super sticky stuff. I don't want to put my hand on it. I rarely use this stuff, only if I cannot, absolutely not get something to stick down. Well, that's not even, I didn't put any over there. I guess I could put some on that side. See, this is the type of thing that has been happening with this journal the whole way through. Is these little things that I have to work through and find a way to make it work. And maybe it's the denim. I don't know if I'll work with denim again. I don't know. It's not really conducive to my crafting. It's not doing what I want it to do. All right, well, let that dry and see. I hope the glue doesn't show. This is why I don't film this stuff. All right, that's drying still. It's not bad. That's almost dry. So, I don't know. What do you think? Tell me truthfully. I wanted to get to decorating the inside of this today too, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So what I need for this journal, here's the specs. I wrote it really tiny. It had to be minimum 7x5, maximum 9x6. Mine is like 9¼ by 6 because I don't know why. Why did I click 9¼ I don't know. There was a reason for it when I did it. Anyway. 2 signatures. Got that. So we got check. 2 signatures. 40 pages total, which means 10 pages in each signature. Got that. Sewn in the signature. Got that. Then we need 10 pockets, tucks, or flips, and 10 tags and journal cards. That's not going to be a problem once I get to decorating the pages. That goes pretty smoothly. I already have some ideas, things that I'm going to put in there. So that's going to be my next step. And unfortunately, I'm probably not going to do that on camera. Just, I don't know. I'll probably do a final flip through when I'm done, just so that you can see. This is not sticking, how things have come out. All right, I'm feeling like disastrous. And I'm gonna close the video now and walk away for a few minutes, and I'm going to let this settle. Let all this glue dry, see if I can get any of this to stick down. And we'll see you with the flip through, because I'm done trying to make this pretty on camera. Sorry. I hope it looks okay. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I know you're all going to say nice things because you're such nice people, but I want the honest truth. Okay, we'll see you later. Bye.